Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you, even to you, JR Wisdom. The only reason that I'm starting this off with a peace greeting is because I'm talking to another Muslim, and that's to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't. In your video entitled Men Are Now Refusing to Approach Women for the Shocking Reason, you go into how it is that men should go ahead and make approaches. And you start talking like, no, there are reasons to keep doing it, and men should keep doing it, and men should keep trying, and men shouldn't quit, and men shouldn't give up, and men should go and get sales jobs. JR, you were right when you said that in most cultures, women won't approach men. In the West, the women should have to, and that's what you're not getting. They should have to approach men in the West because they scream equality. They say they can do everything men can do. And you say, well, you got to go through the no's to get through the yeses, but you're not requiring them to go through no's to get through to the yeses, which they do professionally, but they won't do when it comes to men. They'll go for job interviews and can tolerate being told no by a bunch of companies as long as some companies say yes. But you let one man tell them no and they have a mother cuss word fit. And you're going to justify this? You're upholding the Western modern woman as an equal to traditional women that actually have reasons that make it worth a man approaching them. And you're doing this casually. You were called 9AY because you turned down some bad built broad. I think it was on one of those dating shows. Was it in East Africa? Which ironically was shortly after you performed Hajj or Umrah. And I was willing to sit up and say, no. These women don't have a right to say a motherfucking thing because you don't want them at their fattest. I said that. And what wound up being the case is that now you play a video of a man sitting in his car saying, I ain't the handsomest guy, I ain't the tallest, but you know, when a woman comes and approaches me, I know it's real. I know she actually wants me. That was right. And you have something against that. This is not a question of opinion. This is a question of knowing that Western woman refuses to be worth the approach and demands to be approached. That the Western Isha only wants, above all things, to sit there and take away your dignity. You said the worst they can say is no. They don't stop at no, sir. That man sitting in his car, see, he said the right thing. They take these conversations, if you do approach them, and they hold them in their heads. And if the conversation is in writing, they store them so that they can turn around and blast you later if you get famous. The reason I can say what I've done is because, well, one of the things I did not do is approach a chick, especially in writing. If I had done that, they would have held on to anything that I said, and they would have turned and saved any emails or DMs so that they could later come along and say, see, Black Mind tried to get at me. The nerve of him. Like I'm wrong for being hetero. That's how the hell they are. And you're letting them off the hook. You fail to realize they're not capable of respecting us. That's why they claim equality and they turn around and they do everything except actually be an equal. But you just casually justify them being as they are. And the whole time you're doing this, JR, they're casually holding grudges against you and me and pretty much any man that wants to maintain their dignity. These women are sitting up and saying, I wish men would stay out of my DMs. And then they go and show off a new purse that they got because they work OnlyFans. And they're not running one of those cooking channels either. One broad was, she was recently shown dating somebody. She said that she dated somebody. They asked, well, what confessions would you have that they don't know about? And she said, well, I had an OnlyFans while we were together. Well, would you call them up now and tell them? And so she calls them up with the cameras recording and tells this man, I had an OnlyFans while we were together. The man said, yeah, I kind of knew about that. I had another girlfriend. I got my OnlyFans too. Well, what were you doing? I was scrolling. Now, he knew she had OnlyFans. And now she's mad because the whole time he was getting some on the side. And she later on says, well, everything I did was solo. She didn't have to do anything solo. He said, don't have an OnlyFans or we're not together. She had an OnlyFans. And she got mad because he went and got one on his own. And the thing is that because he was with her, other women could smell a woman on him. And so they decided to do some OnlyFans with him. That's the fun, because most of us could start an OnlyFans and there is no way the women are going to join us because we single. These Westernicians cannot be in a normal relationship in most cases, marriage or anything that they deem as normal. They can't. There must be drama. And for it to register as drama in their minds, it must be something they can't see as normal. So therefore, they can't be in a normal relationship objectively or subjectively. And I just can't see why you sit up and try to tell men to keep trying and go get sales jobs so you can build up your confidence. Man, screw that. Build up the confidence, sure. Lose fear of approaching, but that doesn't mean that it's worth it in the West. It's not the approach you need to fear. It's the other stuff that comes after. The loss of the job, the lies, being painted into a corner in which you must stay single then at that point, in which you have to. I don't think you realize the lengths to which a lot of these broads will go to paint many men into corners in which there is no way that they can match up with anybody, have a marriage or relationship, and genetically go into the next generation. But they want their resources. When you see, you don't understand this is war, JR. You still haven't gotten that. But when you realize that it's war, then you understand what this war is about over time. And then you won't even say this stuff anymore. These men are talking about these Westernicians. Learning how to approach is great for traditional places, traditional environments. I know, I live in one. In the West, what's the right approach, JR? You don't have that to tell the men, but you want to tell them, approach, keep trying. No, what's the right one that's actually going to work? We still haven't heard that. When I was young, we did hear things like, hi, this is my name. What's yours? That basic stuff. Man, look, they still would turn around and say F you. And I know because I saw that happen. I've actually gone and told some my name, what's theirs, and explained to them why I was introducing myself, and it had nothing to do with me trying to get with them. Might have to do with, listen, you fell asleep in class. She told everybody to partner and pair up. I got into the classroom and everybody paired up except you because you were asleep. This is my name. This is yours. We are now partners by default on this assignment. The way I see it, we got to do two things. And if I do this part, can you do that? And then sometimes it went real smooth. And then later on, when we were on friendly terms, they might be talking to their friends. Yeah, he tried to get with me with that, we partners on this assignment stuff. And I was like, but we actually were. I've had stuff like that happen similar, not identical to that situation, but I've had where they later on try to say that I tried to come at them with this, that, and the other. And they just got to tell someone that I tried to go at them at times when I didn't. So imagine if I did. It's no use, man. These dudes are wasting their time in the West trying to find someone. It's time you go ahead and admit that it is over. And it's a waste, and that these guys are selling themselves short, and they shouldn't have to. It's time to go ahead and admit that. That one of the dumbest and worst things these men can do is make that effort in a Western context. No, it is time for the Westernicians to get out there and be competitive and productive and compete for us. They deserve to have to do it because of their own words and choices that they made. They are not like traditional women. And they should not have the same comforts as them because of the choices they made that traditional women don't make. That's the reason, sir. We should do all of this, working on ourselves and self-improvement and everything else. Yeah, we should do all of that because it's the right thing to do. But if we're going to share that with some lady somewhere, that should be a traditional lady from a traditional environment, not one of the Westernicians, unless she's going to come at us and compete and win. Nothing else. You can usually tell what's true, JR, by how much the Westernicians aren't going to like it. And the reason that I sound so oppositional is because, but those who have listened to me before will tell you, my normal audience will tell you, this is not me speaking from hatred, it's me speaking from an understanding of their hatred. The reason I sound so oppositional is because I realize the war in which they are actually engaged. That's why. I hope that this helps you, JR, and I hope it helps your audience members. In a normal situation, what you said is very rational and right and normal. But we don't live in that. I mean, I do. But you don't. You're still in the West. Hopefully not forever, though. And hopefully what I said will help. Thanks for listening. As always, Black Heart, Black Mind, Black Out, Assalamu Alaikum, Black Heterosexual, Non-Select Male Power, because they don't like it. Black Patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day.